Next speaker is Vinayaka BS. Vinayaka is the Strategic Account Manager at Checkpoint. An electronics and communications engineer, he has got advanced certification in information security management and about 10 years experience in the information security industry. Vinayaka, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's presentation is on multi-layered security. This presentation will help you in terms of architecting your security in the case study. So I would request you all, to pay close attention to this. I know this is a session which is after lunch, but definitely, paying attention, will help you reap rich dividends in terms of your case study and might win you a ticket, to Vegas. Today's agenda is very much and pretty simple. So I have only 3 points here. A very short overview on Checkpoint because most of you know what Checkpoint is. Second is on the security challenges that today organizations face. And the third most important factor is on the three-dimensional security from Checkpoint, which is a technology process and not a solution. So this slide speaks about itself. Okay, so we are a $1.25 billion company, very profitable, and we have a unique architecture called Software Blades, which has fueled our growth in the past 2 years. Our pedigree in the industry is that we have pioneered information security from 1993, from the inception of internet, and all of Fortune 500 customers of Checkpoint, and 98% of Fortune 100 are Checkpoint customers. We are number one from the past 3 years in terms of threat coverage, in terms of Microsoft and Adobe, which are being used in almost 100% of the organizations today. This is a slide which is a symbolic of what we have to do today. We secure business everywhere. Just imagine any place, any transaction, any IT scenario, we secure businesses everywhere. We are all pervasive. Let's take a look at the security challenges that any organization faces today. Most of the organizations today have security in some form or the other. So all of them think that we have security and therefore we are secured. But is it really the scenario? You might have some point solutions, you might have adopted some security postures in your organization, but are you really secure? Okay? So let's take a look. What exactly happens? Okay? So today's computing has made people work from anywhere. People have to share data whenever they have to work, they have to collaborate. People have to use a lot of internet tools. People have different needs, and each of the organization roles clearly mandate different technologies to be used in a different manner, to each. So the boundaries are clearly disappearing. At the same time, there are a lot of challenges with respect to the data that the companies are handling. So we saw a lot of presentations with respect to Wipro, we saw a lot of presentations with respect to data and other things. So there are a lot of challenges with respect to the consumerization of IT, which is bought in handhelds, mobile devices, and a lot of things, where accessing data remotely and giving an authorization to access this data, protecting devices and preventing data loss has become a mandate, not only by the organization but also by the compliances. Okay? The second step is that data has to be shared, but it has to be controlled, and it also has to be secured. So there are a lot of challenges here also, where you will have to say, I have to share data with a specific individual, I have to share data with external parties, or the third parties, or contractors, and you'll have to maintain the control of content, who can do what, read, write, execute, copy, multiple things. And you also have to make the protection seamless to the user, because that is where the main challenge of IT is that it should be non-intrusive to the user behavior. Also, there have been a lot of threats today coming in because of the pervasion of social engineering. Today it's very easy. Just if I have a name and the organization name, probably it's easy for me to find out where you spent your last vacation. And using this information, I can call up your company, find out what is your role, and I can go in and take in any data that I want based on your the kind of data that I am looking at. There are a lot of sites today, which have Trojans, malwares, and other infections, which are there, which the user, being gullible, might not be aware that there are some hidden threats, but these can actually, cause a lot of reputation loss as well as data loss inside an organization. These are mainly done by drive-by download attacks. And multiple scenarios are there wherein which Trojans and worms are planted via backdoors, be it a malformed PDF or a document or a Word file, whatever. So there are multiple threats which are coming in today in this environment, and there are a lot of tools which are available to make this easier. So, we are living today in a very scary world wherein which IT security has become at most parlance. At the same time, let's have a look at the business continuity challenges that companies face. We had a solid example of Icelandic volcano, wherein which people got stuck at airports for days together, and there was a business continuity loss. So productivity maintenance becomes an utmost priority to the CIOs and to the organization top bosses, irrespective of whether a natural disaster is there, whether a bandh is there, or whether there is widespread rains due to monsoon in Mumbai. So people have to be on the job always. So there has to be a lot of tools available to provide business continuity. So let's summarize the IT security challenges now. So there are a lot of risks which are increasing day by day. At the same time, the business environment is evolving, wherein which consumerization of handhelds and the portable devices have made accessing internet all pervasive. At the same time, there is a very tight budget and very tight resource environment, wherein which people want more from less. Okay, so how does IT cope up with this? There are a lot of needs with respect to the users. At the same time, the security administrator or the IT manager has to do a lot of things with respect to giving the security objectives vis-a-vis business objectives in a much more secure manner. So prioritization of bandwidth might be a key aspect of IT administrator, whereas users want access to everything. So there is a continuous challenge with respect to the IT user and the security administrator. So today's need of organizations is more security with less resources and less time. So people who give more security with less resources and less time are in demand. Let's take a look into the industry direction today as to what is happening. Okay, so people want context-aware security. That is, there is an increased awareness of who does what. In the sense, example, a Twitter or a Facebook might be allowed only for a marketing department personnel, whereas the other department users should not have any access to that. So this is a business need. The second scenario is on a layered security model. So we can see multiple layers available today, wherein which each users have different access controls. There is a threat which can come in from any of the layers coming in. There are multiple internet applications that users use according to their departmental use and multiple other scenarios. There is sensitive data that users will handle every day based on their business needs and also their work demands. At the same time, they want to access this anytime, anywhere, 24/7 through any device. The third and the most important aspect of this is the technology consolidation, because we have multiple technologies today which do everything, but the need of the hour is to do a consolidation of this in a much more widespread manner with a centralized management, centralized reporting, and centralized control, so that all of these technologies can bring value to the organization in a much more easier manner. So let's take a look at the Checkpoint's three-dimensional security approach that we have to solve this problem. We see security as a business process. It was our CEO's vision that security should not be seen as a product, but should be seen as a business process. What it means that we have to have a policy that focuses on the business needs. So it is a business enabler. Second is that people should be made a part of security, wherein which people should indulge in security by themselves. They should not simply read an IT policy and then later forget. People should be reminded about security. Third and most important factor, because of technological advancements today, is to enforce and consolidate into a single view all the multiple security controls that we have today in any organization. So the Checkpoint's 3D security is more than technology. It is just a process where we have people, policies, and enforcement all bound together in a much more close-knit format. The value proposition that Checkpoint brings is threefold. One is that we have an integrated end-to-end security solution portfolio. We have started moving in from a detection mode to prevention mode across network and endpoints. We are very flexible and very simple to manage, and we provide you investment protection. We have an extensible architecture. Please note this, we have an extensible threat management, wherein which with low acquisition costs, you can save on power, you can save on cooling, you can save on multiple rack space and other things. In terms of end-to-end security, we give you multiple protections, starting with firewall, IPS, intrusion prevention, anti-bot, multiple other scenarios. We have multiple platforms on open servers, on our appliances, and on our platform partners, and we support multiple devices running Android, handheld, and other businesses. So most of the scenario today is on the green IT. So whenever there is a discussion with respect to security, most of the CIOs and top organizational honkos, talk about what is that, you can do for green IT. So we have an extensible architecture where you can save on electricity, hardware, rack space, and maintenance because of our unique architecture. And we are very flexible and very simple to manage. So you can manage your virtual environments, you can consolidate your security gateways, you can have a secure office in a box, all through a single management console. So we make virtualization projects a reality, and we have more than 90% market share in the virtualization market today with respect to the security. One and most important facets on which Checkpoint security is built on is in the centralized security management. So we have a single console where you can manage multiple Checkpoint products, and you can have a single event analysis wherein which you can monitor multiple Checkpoint products in terms of their events, timelines, and also on the correlation part of it. So you get a better visibility and you can get a faster remediation with a single management. One of the most important aspect today is on the compliance, wherein which you also have to have a better visibility in order to have a compliance. So this is just an example of a regulatory compliance being shown in. So the user wants to have a look at the successful logins. He just clicks on that. He can see top users. Okay, he can see logins by date, and he can also mandate this along with any of the compliances that the regulator has specified. So we have a fantastic GRC tool which can manage all this with a single console. So what we are essentially doing is that we are consolidating security, we are making it context aware, we are involving users, and we are giving you tight net application control. So all layers of security are acting together, making it seamless for you, to manage. At the same time, we have a very extensible software blade architecture through which we make this happen. To summarize, we revolutionize the way you do IT security in terms of unified security for networks as well as endpoints. We give you the best threat prevention. We are number one in terms of Adobe, Microsoft, and multiple threat coverages. We are rated very highly by Gartner as well as NSS. We give you the best performance and best user experience in terms of managing, reporting, and correlating. And we also give you the lowest acquisition cost and overall TCO. Thank you.